Hello, and thank you for joining me for episode 14 of the Teaching of Isaac. The character that I have random today, Blue Baby. Hasn't been too long since I've been Blue Baby, but the general idea is soul hearts are everything. He can't utilize any red hearts whatsoever. Well, that's not completely true. He can't pick up red hearts whatsoever. Can you utilize them though? Yes, you do have to be creative. So for example, if I had something like the 2 of clubs, or rather the ace of clubs, I could re-roll this heart into a bomb. Things like that. So you gotta capitalize on everything that you have. Now I'm kind of used to it, but when you see the guys that are chasing you and they only have one eyeball, that means they're going to try to shoot you. They were released later on, so it didn't take me very long to adjust. But for those of you that are new, you'll want to obviously prepare for them to shoot at you. Now I made a mistake here by going in the boss room right away. I always recommend going to the treasure room first. Well, I usually recommend going to the treasure room first. In my scenario, I had no reason really to go to the boss first. But here I am. So this is Little Horn. 2 main things you got to watch out for. Well, let's say 3. One is these missiles. Just take your time and destroy them. They usually take at least 2 hits. But also be wary of staying in line of sight, because he'll throw pits at you when you least expect it. And of course the troll bombs. Got to watch out for those. Now sometimes the pits that he creates, they'll stay there. So if you see that, don't just expect that they'll go away anytime soon. But they do of course vanish eventually. Now I recommend leaving these fires up because he'll sometimes run into them. What he also likes to run into is his own bombs. So once you get used to the fight, it really isn't too bad since there's so many things that can destroy him. And there's my HP up, and as you can see, it only gave me a soul heart instead of a regular heart. So let's go look for that treasure room that I should have looked for earlier. The reason why I recommend that is because with one treasure room item, it can mean the difference between a boss fight sometimes. The only time, well, one of the few times I recommend going to the boss before the treasure room. Let's say, for example, you're not sure where the treasure room is, and you don't want to lose your Devil Deal chance by losing your last soul heart. Sometimes instead of exploring the entire level and risking losing that soul heart, you're better off just going straight for the boss. That way you can ensure that you keep your Devil Deal chance. Speaking of Devil Deal chance, Blue Baby, when damaged, does not lose a Devil Deal chance under any circumstance. Except death. If you die while you're Blue Baby and resurrect or something else in the same room, I do believe that does count towards your Devil Deal chance. But besides that, if you get hit, you're not going to lose your Devil Deal chance. So I'm going to go try the curse room. It's a little risky with only 3.5 soul hearts. But I do have a bomb, so if there's a bunch of blue flames, I can destroy that. Or if there's a stone chest, I can destroy that too. And at least I'll break even, worst case scenario. And keep using that poop. It might feel useless, but sometimes you get the petrified poop trinket, or even things like a soul heart or a dime if you're really lucky. Now these guys are a bit dangerous. You want to make sure you don't paint yourself in a corner. Don't start attacking them until you're ready to move around. They're usually mixed in with a bunch of monsters, however, so that scenario was the best case scenario since I had plenty of room to maneuver. Okay, I like this. Zodiac, it gives you a random Zodiac item each floor. So right now it's Scorpio. So as you can see, I got Poison Tears. And then next floor might be something else. Sometimes you won't be sure what it is. Like, for example, with cancer, you have to get damaged in order to actually see that it's working. Okay, I got 3 bombs. And what's in here again? Right. This would cost me 2 bombs and 1 key to get to. But at the same time, I'm Blue Baby. I need soul hearts more than anybody. So I'm gonna do it. Out of habit, I usually attack the troll bombs. It's usually the safest option. Well, I really regret that. Now, the secret room could be right below the shop. The problem is level 1 works very strange when it comes to secret rooms and super secret rooms. It doesn't always follow the rules. So, I'm not going to waste my bomb. I am, however, going to use this mystery pill by the actual wall. Because in the unlikely chance it's a explosive diarrhea, I want to use it against it. Nope, no explosive diarrhea. I've also mentioned that it could be Horf in the past, which shoots an Epicac bomb straight ahead. Now, if I remember correctly, you have to get the dedicated achievement to do that, which is 30 days of dailies. So if you haven't done 30 days of dailies in a row, then you don't have Horf, don't worry about it. But if you have, then you want to make sure you position yourself when you use pills. You don't want to be right up against the wall when you use it, otherwise you'll blow yourself up. Arcades are unfortunately a little bit less beneficial for the Blue Baby, since you can't really utilize blood donation machines without a lot of health or some type of invincibility. Zodiac's really helpful already since I got piercing tears. That really helps when there's a lot of flies on the field. What a mess. I had to plan ahead there since the monsters were working together to try to box me in. Sometimes just running as fast as you can is not the best option. Sometimes you need to strategically wait, try to bait them in close to you, and then make a beeline. That way you have an opening as you try to run around them. Ah, that was foolish. I thought I was going to blow up the barrel sooner, I just ran right into it. Anyway, the flat penny, anytime you pick up a coin, there's a 50% chance it'll give you a key. What's in here? So I don't like doing boss rooms for a brown chest. Maybe afterwards I'll try, but for now, I'm going to leave it alone. So that right there is a crawl space. Fortunately, the worm opened it up, otherwise I never would have known about it. Could have some items, could have a black market. It's got a black market, great. It's really rare for this to have a black market here. Not only are crawl spaces rare, but then on top of that, black markets are rare. So let's see what we got. So black markets, what they usually contain are shop items that cost you hearts. They'll only cost you 1 heart if you're a regular character that doesn't only have soul hearts like the Blue Baby does. Now the black candle, it gives you a black heart, so technically it's only worth 2 soul hearts, not 3. The problem is I don't have much health, and it's a little too risky for me to take that black candle right now. I'll hardly have anything left. I'm going to save these 2 guys in case I happen to get a bunch of keys and money this level. It also has an exit to the next level, but I don't want to skip levels. I'm not trying to speed run here, I'm trying to win. Now something to watch out for with piercing tears. Normally when you're attacking enemies, you knock them back. But with tears, it goes right through them, so they don't get stalled at all. They're just going to keep running. There's some rooms where it's so tight that you have to knock them back in order to get around them. And then the piercing tears, unfortunately, negate that. I still recommend if you see any item with piercing tears that you grab it though. So this is an item that I pretty much ignore. This will change you into a random character when you use it. The problem with using it is you might change into a character that's just going to make it worse for you. I'm pretty sure you could even transform into the Lost. So it's just not worth it. I guess it could be helpful if you're trying to unlock something for a character that you haven't finished yet, and then you just change into them at the very end. But besides that, the clicker, in my opinion, is a waste. I mean, I choose my character randomly anyway. So I'm still debating. I could use the bomb to try to find the secret room, but there's 3 potential locations where it might be. Usually I know where the secret rooms are all the time, but this time it's not as clear. Okay, and I do see a lovely tinted rock, so I'm glad that I saved my bomb there. And notice how I put it in a position to where he would jump on it. So I make sure to use my bombs for all they're worth, because you only have a limited amount. It's different if you have something like Pyro where you get 99 bombs. I would say go reckless when you have that many bombs, but for the most part, bombs are a luxury. Speaking of luxury, Magic Mushroom, I would say probably the best boss item you could possibly get, since it increases all your stats, gives you an HP up. Doesn't increase your attack speed, even though it says all stats up. That's alright. So there's Sister Maggie. Don't need her. I mean, if it was free, then fine, but I'm not going to spend 3 soul hearts for that. Now, I actually chose to skip the mushroom and go in the devil room first before picking it up. That's because if there was 2 devil deals that were really good, maybe one was Shadow Judas, I could resurrect as him. And then grab the magic mushroom afterwards and have some bonus health. Gotta plan ahead. Okay. Do I go for it? Wait, I have no bombs. What am I doing? Okay, I'm just going to gamble really quickly. Maybe if I'm super lucky, I'll get a bomb. That works. Scatole. So now any fly that appears on the map, that's a neutral fly or a red fly, I think, will also turn into a blue fly for me. Actually, I think it's just the neutral flies that turn into blue flies. I think it just slows down the others, but we'll see. So I have no more bombs. It's time to move on. By the way, now that I have Scatole, or Scatole, don't know if it has a silent E or not, but either way, now that I have it, whenever the shell game is played, you no longer will get a chance of getting that item. So now I can gamble as much as I want, and I'll never have to worry about losing. I'll never worry about the shell game guy leaving. Unless, of course, he drops a troll bomb on himself and kills himself. That's something you gotta take into account. So this room with the blue worms, make sure you just keep moving. And unfortunately, you sometimes have no choice but to get hit. It's probably best to wait, actually. I mean, keep moving, but you want to kind of wait until the spray comes and then start going. Because if you're moving erratically like I was earlier, then they're going to be shooting in multiple directions and it's going to be even harder to dodge. It's probably better just to bait them in, let them all shoot at the same time, and then run at that point. But there were so many, and I don't think they were all shooting at the same time. This is the Blind Rage. It makes your invincibility frames last just a hair longer. The only thing I like it for is blood donation machines or devil beggars. It allows you to stab an extra time. Ow. Yeah, some of these rooms, there's little you can do. You just have to try your best. Because there was no room for me to maneuver there. In case you're wondering why the rocks are being destroyed, that's the Zodiac. The Zodiac has changed to Leo. So now I can step on rocks and destroy them. I can do the same for mushrooms as well, and poops. But if I do that with a mushroom, it has a chance to explode. By the way, I totally forgot about the black market. But then again, I was out of bombs anyway. I had no money for the shop, or for the beggar, and I had no keys for the key beggar. So there's very little I could have done anyway. And I got a mystery pill. I'm going to save that for the end, just in case there's amnesia or curse of the maze pill. Okay, so the best option here is to drop a bomb here. Because one, I'm going to blow up the stone chest, and two, I'm going to push the other bomb out of the way. Example A as to why I don't run over mushrooms. You also have to watch out for these explosive rocks. You could be trying to run around dodging enemies and then end up walking into one of these. That's the dangerous part of Leo. But Leo becomes very beneficial when you reach the depths area. Because once you're in that area, there's skulls everywhere and you can walk over all of them. And they'll drop things like cards, runes, and my favorite, dark hearts. Now this particular room, it's unfortunately a common room, and it's not easy to deal with. The mushrooms are pretty beefy in terms of hit points, so I tend to ignore them. They're less of a threat, but obviously it's still a threat when bullets are being shot in every direction. Now I'm going to save this battery. I could use it and poop again, but it's hardly beneficial, and if I find a better activatable item, I could use it on that. Now in most cases, you'll want to ignore the fat bats because they have so many hit points, you're better off attacking the weaker enemies at first. Just don't get too close, otherwise they'll shoot you. So for the bonies, do not react to their attack. They attack so quickly, it's faster than most humans can manage. Preemptively dodge. Preemptively keep moving. Expect them to throw a bone in your face. As long as you're always expecting them to attack and you're always on the move, that's how you dodge the bones. Although my reflexes are very good, I don't have lightning speed reflexes, so I'm not really good at dodging bones by reaction, so just keep moving. Now usually on my runs, if you've been watching my previous episodes, they've been making it pretty obvious where the secret rooms are, because there's usually like an empty path and then like one side's totally blocked off. But recently on this run particularly they're not making it easy to figure out where the secret rooms are. So I'm trying to dodge the mushrooms while I'm trying to dodge these spiders as well. It's not really something to worry about so much when you don't have Leo, because you'll just bump into the mushroom. But now it's kind of an extra thing I have to worry about. By the way, they actually nerfed this room, which is good. They nerfed it as in they made the enemies have a worse time, because there's a mushroom here, a mushroom there, and then the two spiders. And then this whole bottom section was inaccessible. So you had to pretty much just go like this and you're going to get hit. So at least they fixed one of these rooms. But there's still quite a lot of rooms in the game that are unavoidable. Now this is pretty much the holy grail for the blue baby. You will convert regular hearts into blue hearts, and sometimes dark hearts if you're lucky. Now I finally have something I can use. If you remember at the beginning of the episode, I said Blue Baby can utilize red hearts. Like, he can't pick them up by default, but he can still utilize them, and this is one way. Now, something I learned recently about these guys, they only appear in pits. The only reason why I learned this, even though I've seen them many times before, is I was doing the Pokemans challenge, which you can summon all kinds of buddies during your challenge. And these guys would only appear in the room as my summoned friend if there was a pit. If there was no pit, they wouldn't even show up. But once the pit came, then they do pop up. So now with that extra knowledge in mind, it's going to make them a little bit easier. But they're still a very difficult enemy to deal with, especially in the smaller rooms where there's pits everywhere and you just kind of have to take a hit. Now I'm choosing not to go into the shop. I only have 9 coins. I mean, there could be a soul heart there potentially, but now I'm going to be relying on my dark bum for that. Don't be caught off guard by those charging worms, whether it's that boss variant or the smaller chargers. You can definitely take advantage of baiting them to charge at you. It's a lot safer than just waiting for them to randomly charge. You'll definitely notice that if you ever see me go against a boss like Gertie Jr., I'll try to strategically put my body in a spot where I force Gertie Jr. to charge, and that way I know what direction she's going to come in. And you may have noticed the Boomfly was a lot slower. That's because of the Scatoli that I picked up earlier. Makes him easier to manage. Okay, finally got it. The Petrified Poop. Problem is, there's no more level to use it on unless I use the battery. And the question is, do I want to get rid of the flat penny? I don't, because it's very unlikely I'm going to be keeping this poop for that long. I'll probably find some type of activatable item soon, I'm hoping. Now, where is that secret room? I really don't know for sure. I'm going to check for that before I head for the boss. Okay, I know it's not here because this part's blocked off. Could be here. Could be here. Okay, this looks like it. I think it is on that right side. Okay, finally got one. And no bueno. At least I was able to reach both the slot machine and the shopkeeper, so I got a little bit of money. Okay, I'm just going to use the pills now. Even if I get Amnesia, Curse of the Maze, I've explored everything. Perks is great. You take half a heart of damage regardless, so even if you're at the womb, you won't take a full heart of damage, ever, as long as Perks is up. But it only lasts for the room that you're in. Health down, self-explanatory. There it is, Amnesia.
Infested?
Now the super secret room could be here or here. I'm just gonna gamble. Nope, okay, I'm done. Let's go ahead and fight the boss. This is Rag Mega. He's got a very low amount of hit points, but it's also very hard to hit him. And I ran over that mushroom, but fortunately didn't blow up in my face this time. Speaking of mushroom, I forgot to mention that the Mega Mushroom counts towards the Fun Guy transformation. It just gives you a hit point up and makes you look ugly. So this is pretty hard. I'm probably going to use a bomb if I get a chance. The problem is he's staying immortal for so long. The lower his hit points, the more of these purple orbs he's going to shoot at you. You can also knock back the tiers by shooting them, but it makes them a little more erratic, so I usually try to avoid that. This is where having a decent amount of speed comes in handy. This fight is really hard without speed. And I ran into a second mushroom there. Alright, so since I skipped that last devil deal, I've been rewarded with an angel deal. And speaking of rewarded, Mr. Dolly. Very helpful, gives you tears up, gives you some hearts. Usually they're soul hearts, so that's very good for the blue baby. Wow, this just keeps getting better and better. So I'm going to take the Holy Mantle. It's almost always the best choice. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and fight. Oh, I forgot I have Leo. I just ran into the statue and caused him to appear like this. He's technically a rock at the very beginning. So this is a little bit dangerous because of the fact that there's purple flames here as well. So I'm taking that out. The purple flames will shoot bullets at you. So when the wings cross, they're going to do an X attack of some type most likely. Or they're going to shoot a bunch of tears. It takes a lot of practice to learn what move he's going to do. But you still can't predict it entirely. That's why you got to learn the sweet spot to stand in, regardless of whether his arms are crossed or not when he's about to attack. Definitely want to try to take out those little guys if you can. The problem is he sometimes spawns them in too quickly. By the way, I don't know what the criteria is, but you can't just blow up the angel statues at the beginning. You have to be able to unlock that ability. Okay, and I got half the key. One more half, and then I'll be able to fight Mega Satan. Now, I did leave behind a battery. Would it be overkill for me to go back for it? Well, it's too late now. I'm already heading back for it. I could also grab the petrified poop and then use this, but oh well. It's amnesia, so I just want to get out of here at this point. Okay, so now the Zodiac has done Gemini. And that gives me a little friend there. So thanks to the Holy Mantle, I'm in a really good position. I mean, I didn't even explain what it does. It's just because it's such a staple in the Binding of Isaac universe. The Holy Mantle prevents you from taking 1 damage per room. Not floor, but room. So you walk in the new room, and then you're invincible for just the 1 damage. It's pretty huge. When you explore all these rooms and you get hit once per room, that would add up normally. But the Holy Mantle makes it really easy. Now you're still vulnerable to blood donation machines. Don't think you can be invincible on the first hit. Okay, so now it's time to get rid of my poop. And I'm going to capitalize on this room since it has a re-rolling machine. But first, let's see what we get with this. Judgment. Mutant Spider. So now I shoot 4 tiers at a time. Now, something I don't think I've explained earlier or before is items like the Mutant Spider are considered special items. Special items, what they do is they prevent certain items from appearing in the future. So let's say, for example, I find the mutant spider. If I didn't find that earlier, let's say I go kill the boss and the angel room spawns. Let's say it's Godhead. Godhead, I believe, is also a special item. And so if I had ignored, or rather not even walked in the same room as the mutant spider, Godhead might have been there. Pretty much if a second special item spawns, the game calculates it and goes, has the user ever seen any special items yet? And if the answer is yes, then it's going to potentially re-roll the Godhead. If they've never seen any special items, then the Godhead will be waiting for you. The more special items you have, the more likely it's going to re-roll the item before you even see it. Now, the special items, they're not just about picking the item up. Even if you look at the special item, you walk in the room with the special item, it's too late. It's now applied. So you may as well take it, assuming it's actually going to help you. So I'm not mad that Greed's here. I don't have much money anyway. So this will give me a little bit more money for the next time I go in the shop. Also, look at all these keys I'm getting. I'm going to start banking these in case I happen to find another key beggar. Most of the trap rooms can be completed before they even attack. So if you have quick speed, just go for it. I know it's quick, but if you ever see a penny with a mild green shimmer, that means it's a lucky penny. So here's an advantage with the Holy Mantle. Let's say I just walk in the room really quickly and just bump into a spike. Then you can just leave the room and come back and your Holy Mantle is returned and you could try again. If I had Leo still, I'd just walk into that rock and then form a bridge. But I'm going to save my bomb. I only have 2. And it's really nice against these worms since you just walk right into them by accident like I just did. And everything's still fine. So I'm going to take advantage of this room now since I have the Ace of Clubs. I'm going to bomb both of these. Pick you up. Bomb you. Now normally the Bloody Penny is one of my favorite... Actually, so if I didn't have Dark Bum, the Bloody Penny would be useless for Blue Baby, because when you pick up a coin, there's a chance of getting a half heart. 50% chance, in fact. Now, the Dark Bum will actually convert them into soul hearts for me, so this is actually a fantastic item. So I'm going to keep it. Now, the reason why I'm here, though, is because of this.
Ace of Clubs.
So now my bomb count is better, and I usually don't get a chance to capitalize on Ace of Clubs too often, because I usually would rather keep the items that are on the floor. But it's definitely worth it to trade 1 coin for 1 bomb. That's a very good ratio. There's no door there. Now, something I've been waiting for that hasn't happened is if this room is full of the green guys that shoot bombs, you can just dance around this room and kite them. And you can force them to keep attacking you with green bombs, which will blow up the mushrooms. So I tend to circle around the entire room, let them blow up all the mushrooms, and then once they're all dead, finish them off. Funny thing though is the mushrooms usually explode, and when that happens, the green explosion usually damages the enemies and ends up killing them in the end. Now I did say that I like to attack troll bombs, especially since it allows me to manipulate where they go. But you want to be careful when attacking troll bombs in an area where you don't want to blow something up. So let's say, for example, there's a blood donation machine or maybe a beggar in the room that you don't want to blow up. You can still attack them, just make sure you don't attack the troll bombs towards the thing you don't want to blow up. Alright, I've explored nearly everything. I'm just going to go ahead and move on. Gertie. Just stick to this south, east, and west. Just change direction each few seconds. So you know each few seconds it's either going to attack or summon monsters. Don't react to the attack. Just move ahead of time when they're about to do its action. That way, long before the attack actually happens, you're already in the process of moving. Alright, it's mystery pill time. You know the super secret room can't be here, it's totally blocked off. We know it can't be here because it'd be attached to the other bigger room. It could be here though. The reason why I was slow there is it allows me to see where I should bomb. I just move slowly until the camera moves. Right when the camera moves, right here, that tells me where, if there was a door here or a super secret room, it would be right here is what that tells me when the camera moves. That's a way I can tell where I can bomb in a large room. So the super secret room, it's a big mystery here. I do have 8 bombs, but the question is how many bombs do I want to waste when the secret room probably just has poop in it anyway? Yeah, it's too unknown where the secret room is. By the way, I totally forgot to mention the boss room has Monstro's Tooth. And when you use that, it'll land right on an enemy. You can't choose which enemy it lands on. It's helpful, but I'd rather have the deck of cards. I remember I forgot something. Feels like I'm walking on sunshine just gives you temporary invulnerability. That would help you with blood donation machines. That's one of the few ways that I use blood donation machines with the Blue Baby. Alright, well, before I go, I'm going to use this, see what more cards I get. That's good, because I'm having trouble finding the secret room, so where is it? Alright. There's the hearts, and more soul hearts / dark hearts for me. Very good synergy. Okay, I'm just going to use the judgment here because I want to hold on to my 2 of clubs. That way I can get even more bombs and double them later on. The judgment card usually spawns a regular beggar, but it can spawn a devil beggar or less commonly a key beggar or bomb beggar. The bomb beggar with the judgment card is obscenely rare. It's like winning the lottery. Except less exciting. And that gold heart there, you do have to unlock it, but when you pick it up and you get damaged, you'll drop some coins. That pill does nothing, pretty much. Alright, I'm going to hang on to the 2 of clubs, that way I get some more bombs for later. I mean, I could use it now and grab the Empress card, but I want to grab even more bombs. That way it's more beneficial when I use it. And Verp spits out the last pill you used. If you happen to have a good pill with you, then you'll want to use Verp after you use your good pill. I could have also tried to go where I think the super secret room is and then use that mystery pill, which turned into explosive diarrhea. But let's face it, I don't really need to scrounge for items at this point. I have the Holy Mantle, I have a lot of soul hearts, I have a steady income of soul hearts, so I really don't have to worry about it. But it's all dependent on your skill level. If you are newer to the game and you need a lot more practice, then you probably better off are trying every little thing you can to make your character stronger. I mean, to be super technical, you could actually, it's actually probably more beneficial to pick up pickups on the floor at the end. Because, for example, let's say a bunch of money and keys and bombs are all over the map. If you were to pick them up ahead of time, and then at the end of the level find the Humbling Bundle, which doubles everything, doubles all pickups on the ground, you would have missed out on that. So it's technically actually better to leave things on the floor and then pick them up at the end in case that circumstance happens. But, my goodness, is that time consuming or what? I mean, for one, for the sake of this video, my videos are already on average like an hour and a half long just because of how much I talk. But it would take even longer if I had to go back for the pickups each time. It would just take forever. Another reason why it's technically better to wait for the end level before grabbing the pickups is there are dice rooms that will re-roll all items on the floor. That's a nasty room, and I pretty much had to take a hit. But thanks to the Holy Mantle, it's just totally negated. It's kind of funny how I started with the poop item, and I'm ending with the poop item on my head. Okay, what do we have here? That would be nice if I had money. By the way, I forgot to mention this is an XL floor, so there's 2 bosses, but only one shop, only one secret room, only one super secret room. I'm not a fan of XL floors due to the fact that you get one less shop, one less devil deal, less secret rooms. The only time I like an XL floor is if, I don't even know what hit me there, but anyway, I only like it if it's on the first floor. That way it makes the treasure rooms for free. You don't have to spend a key to get in there. Now Gish is a character, or rather a boss you unlock later on. He's pretty much an easier monstro, although my performance there wasn't the best, but he drops a little Gish every single time. There's no changing that. Even if you have Chaos, which will pretty much combine all the pools together, all the item pools, it'll still be Gish that drops. So by going through here, it's going to be the mom fight. Normally, I would go explore the rest of the level and grab all the treasure room items and then go to mom, because when you go to mom, you're stuck in the room. But now I have the Fool, I can abandon ship and teleport back outside. She usually stomps in the middle at the very beginning, but not every time. So watch out for that. And when her foot comes down, you can actually walk into it without being damaged. Just don't get stomped by it. And stay away from the edges, because the doors will pop up, she'll shoot monsters out of them, or her eyeball will poke you, or in rare circumstances, she'll slap you in the face with her hand. 67% chance of a room, and I didn't get it. That's disappointing. I am going to take the Polaroid, because I expect to be fighting Mega Satan, since I have half the key. And a 62% chance of an angel room popping up. So the odds are in my favor that I'm going to be fighting Mega Satan. So I do want to make it as easy on me as possible. Because by doing Mega Satan, when you kill Mega Satan after you've unlocked the Void, you have a 50% chance of the Void portal appearing. So if I'm going to fight Mega Satan, there's a pretty good chance I'm also going to fight Delirium. And the Polaroid, when you get damaged, it gives you an invulnerability shield, as long as you have half a heart or less. Blue Baby only has soul hearts, so it'll trigger every single time. With the negative, it just causes damage in the room when you get hit, if you have half a heart or less, which isn't as helpful as the Polaroid. If I'm lucky, this will teleport me to the Devil Room or the Angel Room. There's a small chance Red Chest will do that. Not this time, but got a lot of glorious soul hearts. I could potentially even utilize a sacrifice room. Could also use the Ace of Clubs and turn these hearts into bombs if I have too many. Now the question is, did I already use the Two of Clubs? Or did I leave it on the floor somewhere? I think I might have left it on the floor. I'm not completely sure, but I'm going to go back. Okay, there we go. Still not going to use this immediately because I would like to use the Ace of Clubs first. That way I get a few more bombs before doubling my bombs. These guys are hard to get used to because they charge at you so quickly. Again, it's another one of those scenarios where you don't react to their attack. You preemptively react before they attack. That's how you dodge it. Now, I'm not trying to ask you to be a psychic, but the more you practice, the more you'll realize what they're going to do. Okay, do I really want any of these items? The answer is no. So I'm going to re-roll the room by using the machine and blowing up that guy and getting some money out of the deal. Now the broken stopwatch, something I usually take. It's very dangerous for bosses though, because sometimes it'll double the speed of the boss if you're really unlucky. I've had to fight Satan many times with the broken stopwatch while he's on full speed. I don't know what the deal is, but he just likes doubling his speed when I fight Satan. Sure, I'll take the blue map. So now I won't have to guess where the secret rooms are. Okay, we finally reached a treasure room. This is anemic. It's okay. I'd rather get something else, but it's not going to hinder me at least. Increases your range, and when you get hit, it allows you to, well, it has a little red creep that follows you. So when the enemies walk into the red creep, they get damaged. So many hermit cards, it just teleports you to the boss room. Okay, so here is the sacrifice room. I could potentially use it. Now I wish that my zodiac happened to be Cancer. So with Cancer, after you get damaged one time, Cancer activates, and from then on out, you're only going to get hurt for half a heart for the rest of the room. That means that I could stab myself more often on the sacrifice room, because the sacrifice room takes an entire heart when you stab yourself. It's going to be risky if I decide to use the sacrifice room, even with all these extra soul hearts on the field. Sacrifice rooms can do a lot of things. I recommend looking it up because there's just so many different things it could do each time you stab yourself. But it's systematic. So on the 6th stab, I believe, that's when you, on that stab in particular, you have a chance of being teleported to the Angel Room or the Devil Room. I think on the 7th stab, you have a 25% chance of getting an Angel Room item. I believe that's the order. Even if that number isn't 100% accurate, I know it's either give or take 1. Two of diamonds. So now I just need to get some more money and double it, but the problem is this is the last shop in the game. There are a lot of skulls here. I'm not going to bomb for the secret room yet, actually, because I want to save a few more bombs before I use the 2 of clubs. I should have actually waited before bombing for the super secret room. Okay, now I don't have to worry about that. This is a perfect room for explosive diarrhea. Not only will I get to blow up some of these skulls, but I even opened up the secret room. That was quite lucrative. So Bercano, that just gives you some bugs. So I've seen this secret room a lot. I haven't really been able to capitalize on it before. Now, I have an opportunity to actually use this if I get enough money. I'll explain a little bit later once I actually just start doing it. That way you could finally see how that secret room is intended to be used. So don't worry about the black creep. It's not going to damage you. It just makes things a little sticky. So definitely want to prioritize the guys that are attacking you first. Now the question is there contact damage with these guys? It's like the answer is no. My shield is still up. So if you have something like the Midas Touch, you can just walk into them and turn them into gold without getting damaged. Okay, we finally arrived at the last treasure room. That's a disappointment. So little Loki, he attacks in 4 directions for very minor damage. Familiars like him are only beneficial early game, really. Late game, they're just kind of there. Like Gish, for example, he's also not that helpful in terms of damage, but at least his attack will do slowing. Okay, now the question is, do I want to use the sacrifice room? Perhaps I should just do it for demonstrative purposes. Maybe it's a little risky, maybe I shouldn't, but there's a lot of soul hearts on the field. I have the Holy Mantle, and I have a steady stream of soul hearts. So I think I'll be able to fill up if things don't go my way. So here we go. Well, before I go, actually, let me get the 2 of clubs. Or not the 2 of clubs, but the Ace of clubs, wherever the heck I left that. So anything I leave behind, I can just convert into bombs. There it is. What's over here before I walk away? Magician, pretty useless. Gives you mild homing tears, which is just eh. Now the Holy Mantle will block the first stab. That's not going to count toward using the sacrifice room. You have to get hit. Same thing with the Polaroid. The Polaroid just activated, so it's just going to slow me down. It's also a chance that it will change your Angel Room chance. It'll increase it. Alright, that's great. So now I get an extra room here. So out of all these, I would like flight. So I am going to take the Holy Grail. Gonna bomb him. I guess I could have also waited to have him appear in the sacrifice room and not spin to bomb, but too late. And you see that V attack there? When he does the attack where he lights up his arms, but he does not cross them, he has a chance of either attacking in all 4 directions or in that V shape to the south. So there's a very specific spot you got to stand, either in between. You got to stand pretty much where in between the beams would have hit you. It's a very specific spot, but you can do it on the left side or the right side. Alright, now I've completed the key, so I can go ahead and fight Mega Satan. I might just end up doing it right now and just reaching the end, just because I can. Now if I stab myself again, one of the angels is going to appear. I have no need to fight the angel. I already have the key. That's the only reason why you want to fight angels, is to get the key. So what I can do is stab myself, run away, and he's gone. One more time. Will I get soul hearts or will I get money? Soul hearts. Great. Stab myself again. It's going to be another angel. Some of the sacrifice items are guaranteed. At this point, on the final stabs, when I stab myself, I have a 50% chance of being teleported to the dark chest, and a 50% chance of just getting stabbed and nothing happens. So now, I didn't really get to use the Ace of Clubs like I hoped.
Ace of Clubs.
There's only 1 coin there to take, but... Right, I need to show you that secret room before I go, how you can utilize it. So I'm going to double my money.
Of diamonds.
Right, I need to head for the shop. I'm going to buy the moving box. I'm going to re-roll the room. That way I can buy another treasure item. Okay, perfect. So now I can use this as an example. So let me show you. So I'm going to buy the box of friends. I'm not actually going to use it though. So now I'm going to use the moving box. Okay, I do have a battery on the field, so I think it's going to take everything from the shop. Okay, good, it didn't. Anyway, I've used the moving box, which now boxed up those items that are on the floor. It's only applicable to treasure items, it looks like. Well, actually, that's not true. It's applicable to treasure items and pickups that are not from the shop. So I grabbed that, so now the moving box is recharged. I need to head for the secret room now. Use the moving box. Now, I don't want to re-roll without picking up the item I had before. Alright, so I've done it. So now I re-roll. And as you can see, I got some extra treasure items. And it's specifically going to be the secret treasure room pool. Or rather, the secret room pool. The skeleton key, after all, gives 99 keys. And if I remember correctly, that only spawns in secret rooms. Now, I don't have to deal with this. I could re-roll it again. The machine's right here. Why not, right? I mean, I don't really need keys that much. I already have 30. And the GB, it's a game-breaking bug. It's just a little guy that follows you around and bounces around the room and damages things. So I'm going to re-roll again. Samson's chain I like. I can use this on Mega Satan. Mega Satan's to the north. I could place my body south slightly. Now Samson's chain will block a lot of the hits. Especially helpful during the bullet hell phase. And the compost will convert pickups into flies. But I don't want that. I'm going to re-roll again. Forget Me Now re-rolls the whole level. I could do it all over again. If I used it here, it'd actually be technically 2 levels because it's the XL level. So that would be pretty helpful if I wanted to grind out some more items, but I don't. And look at what we have here. Pyro. Now I have infinite bombs pretty much. Now I'm tempted to pick up these Dark Hearts, but in the event that the Mega Satan fight does not give me what I want, let's say I go stab myself and then 4 times in a row it just stabs me without teleporting me to Mega Satan. I want to leave those Dark Hearts there. And Skulls have a chance to drop Dry Baby, which is another great item. I can use Samson's Chain to block the shots and Dry Baby to block some more shots. Okay, I'm pretty happy here. I do want to pick up a card before I go, though. A card that'll help me for Mega Satan, preferably. That's the one. I could also go through and start destroying all these skulls with my bombs or Samson's Chain. But, right, double 99 coin or bombs. For the record, does nothing. 99 is the max. Alright, I'm going to head for the sacrifice room, and I'm going to head straight for Mega Satan. Okay, didn't work out as planned, so now it's going to be a little time consuming, but I want to make sure I have full health before I fight Mega Satan. Especially if I decide to tackle Delirium. I'm kind of skeptical on going for Delirium at this point because I'm going after Mega Satan a little early. And the Holy Mantle's been awesome, but it only defends for 1 shot per room. And boss fights are time consuming. Alright, we're in. Welcome to the Dark Chest. Or rather, the Dark Room. Well, at least I get my health back. This won't do anything by picking up these because I'm already capped. So I'm just gonna pick up the half Eternal Heart there and leave this one alone. Because technically that Eternal Heart there piece will count as an extra. And I could blow up this angel too, but I've already completed the key. It's not gonna do anything. Before I go, since there's all these extra soul hearts here, the secret room is right there. I'm just gonna go grab it really fast. So treasure chests in the dark room and the chest will always spawn a treasure item of some type. But I can't take the book with me since I have the deck of cards, and I'd rather keep the deck of cards. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of Mega Satan. So don't worry about the hands, just attack his face. If it hits the hands, fine. They usually get in the way anyway. And thanks to Samson's Chain and the Dry Baby, I don't really have to dodge too much. But I do have to dodge these rocks. And his hand. But yeah, as you can see, I don't deal that much damage, surprisingly. And there's also a chance when fighting Mega Satan that the enemies will be a champion variant. In some cases, I prefer that. Well, I was about to say, because they'll drop their soul hearts. Like that blue famine drops a soul heart whenever he dies, but I guess it's not applicable during the Mega Satan fight. So I take it back. I don't prefer it because the champions just make it harder. Yeah, this is me with the Empress card. If I fight Delirium, I'm probably not going to have that same card for extra damage. So I'm probably not going to do it even if the portal appears. Sure, I'm pretty defensive here. I have a lot of defensive abilities, but Delirium does not care. Delirium is erratic, shoots tears everywhere, teleports on your face, and there's nothing you can do. He's very, very item dependent, not as skill dependent. Anytime you see Mega Satan look like he's going to do an attack, just assume it's going to be the large brimstone to the face. Even if it's not, just get out of the way of the center. That way, if you ever aren't sure what he's going to do, you'll still be safe. Now, right after these two guys is the hardest part of the Mega Satan fight, in my opinion. Even harder than the bullet hell portion, mainly because I have Samson's Chain and the Dry Bait. But you're going to get 4 ultra enemies at the bottom. And it's just a mess. I'm trying to take advantage of the Polaroid when I get hit, because during that time you have invincibility frames. So I just charged right in. It would have been beneficial if I had an orbital that dealt damage constantly. That way I could hug him while I'm invincible. And then that would deal a lot of bonus damage. The Black Angels, they react exactly like the regular angels do. Alright, that's the last of the summons. So now it's time to take him out. Welcome to Phase 2. Position yourself. Use Dry Baby and Samson's Chain to block the tears and the flames. And just sit still. If you had no orbitals, you just have to scramble and dodge to the best of your ability. You have to stay back as far as you can. That way you have maximum openings through the flames. But guess what? I don't have to worry about that. You can tell when he's almost dead since you got all the cracks in his face. And that's it. So he was a piece of cake, but I know Delirium, and due to his unusual behavior, and because he's a tank, he can take a punch to the face better than anybody. I know that it would be way too risky for me to try Delirium this time. So I'm going to have to cut this episode short. I know I have a lot of health, but like I said, Holy Mantle only blocks 1 shot per room. And the Delirium fight would last me a very long time. I'm just not strong enough, and I might not get the Empress again while I'm in the Void. So I'm going to have to pass this time. Well, we had a quicker episode this time, only 1 hour as opposed to an hour and a half. That's probably how long it would have taken if I went to Delirium. But thanks for joining me for the 14th episode, The Teaching of Isaac. And if you learned something new, go ahead and like this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to continue this series and see you guys on the next episode.